Prairie Mosaic is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008, the North Dakota Council on the Arts, and by the members of Prairie Public.
Welcome to Prairie Mosaic, a patchwork of stories about the arts, culture, and history in our region.
Hi, I'm Barb Gravel.
And I'm Matt O'Lean. On this edition of Prairie Mosaic, we'll visit a summer camp in northern Minnesota, meet a family who designs fire pits, and listen to the mellow sounds of a seasoned musician. Poetry Out Loud is a high school program that encourages students to learn about poetry while they master public speaking skills and build self-confidence. Maya Tena from Bismarck High School is the 2022 North Dakota State Poetry Out Loud champion.
Pues estoy creando Spanglish, bicultural systems, scientific lexicographical, intertextual integrations, two expressions existentially wired. I am mostly involved in the music programs. I play tenor saxophone, and my favorite thing to do is jazz because the improvisation that goes with it, everyone shows their uniqueness in it, and it's fun because you're really going off the page, and that's what I like. Kind of like with poetry, you have to interpret what the author was trying to say. Poetry Out Loud is a competition where students recite poems that we have to choose from the anthology of poems on the Poetry Out Loud website. The first stage is the school competition, and then it was state competition. It was similar to the school competition where there's one round of poems, then there's a second round, and the only difference is they pick 5 finalists, and those finalists have to recite a third poem. The judges are judging us on a few sets of criteria. One of the criteria that we're judged on is how accurate we interpret the poem. We can't be overly dramatic, but they don't want us to be stoic. They're judging us, of course, on the accuracy. We also get judged on our voice and how our voice carries the poem into the audience. My own dear love, he is sweet and bold, and he cares not what comes after. His words ring sweet as a chime of gold, and his eyes are lit with laughter. I was definitely nervous, as most of us were. It's just you and the audience, and of course the judges. I cannot see anything. I have to wear glasses, so I took them off while I was on stage so that I couldn't see the audience, and it did help a lot. I'm sure I was making eye contact with people, but I couldn't see any faces, just forms. So that made it a lot easier for me.
Congratulations, the North Dakota 2022 Poetry Out Loud State Champion is Maya Tena, Bismarck High School.
From Poetry Out Loud and competing in the competition, I've gotten a lot of support. I love seeing that my family really cares about me and my friends and my teachers. My English teacher, Mrs. Lord Olson, she helped me. She did such a great job of coaching me and guiding me. She always had something new to contribute that eventually led to me succeeding in the state competition as I did. I gaze upon her rose-wreathed hair and gaze upon her smile, seem as you drank the very air her breath perfumed the while, and wake for her the gifted line that wild and witching lay. Before I started critically analyzing the poems for Poetry Out Loud, I didn't pay much attention to poems. I didn't realize the amount of critical thinking that has to go into analyzing a poem. From Poetry Out Loud and participating in the competition, I've gotten a greater appreciation for poetry and writers and all that they have to do to put their words artistically onto the page. It's an art, and I see it as that now. I fully appreciate what poetry is, and there is a lot of technique that has to be involved. Spanglish is by Tato Laviera, and I chose that poem because there is some Spanish in the poem that you have to recite, and I thought that would be a lot of fun because my parents are from Mexico and I grew up speaking Spanish. That was my first language, and I thought it would be a really fun experience to use that in my poem. Spanglish by Tato Laviera. Pues estoy creando Spanglish, bicultural systems, scientific lexicographical, intertextual integrations, two expressions existentially wired, two dominant languages continentally abrazándose. En colloquial combate, en las aceras del soil, Imperio Spanglish emerges. Control pandillaje sobre territorios bilingual. Las novelas mexicanas mixing with radio rock and roll, condimented cocina lore. Immigrant, migrant, nasal mispronouncements. Baraja chismeteo social club. Hip-hop prieto street salsa. Corner soul in mixturando Spanish pop farandula. Standard English classroom with computer technicalities. Spanglish is literally perfect. Spanglish is ethnically snobbish. Spanglish is carajoli inteligencia. Which U.S. slang do you speak?
Lake Trails Base Camp has been hosting wilderness canoeing and camping adventures since 1952. Located on beautiful Oak Island in Lake of the Woods, the heart of this experience lies within building friendships that last a lifetime.
We are at Lake Trails Base Camp, located on the very southern tip of Oak Island. Technically, we're called Oak Point. My name is Sue Lem, and I'm the camp director, have been for the past 10 years now.
Everybody looking good? Yeah!
Lake Trails began in 1952. It was a vision of Father Bill Merkins. He wanted to start a camp for teenagers where they could go and explore the wilderness and, just really have fun. And of course, because of his love of boats, that was always part of the vision as well. They got permission from the Diocese of Crookston to start a camp. And so Father Bill and Father Jerry rented a boat and they started going around to all the little islands, just exploring. But they decided that this was a pretty good spot. And they started doing really very similar to what we're doing today. They went out on canoe trips and just started exploring the area. In the very beginning, it was a Catholic boys' camp. After a couple years, they started thinking about why should the boys have all the fun? So a girls' camp was started. And in the 70s, the decision was made to just go co-ed. The current mission of Lake Trails, it's built off of Father Bill's vision of what he called the Lake Trails idea. We want kids to learn really to appreciate themselves, to appreciate nature, to become a positive member of their community. I can remember Father Bill many times using the phrase unconditional acceptance. And that was just drilled into us through his sermons and just in his everyday life. Forgive readily and be part of the community that we're building. Have a wilderness adventure. That was all part of the Lake Trails idea.
Watch over us as our 5 days on trail, help us bond, create memories, and hopefully bring us back a little bit more in touch with nature.
It's a pretty intense 9 days, but the real magic, the real heart of it all happens when they're out on trail. And so the first day is mostly getting here. get them out to the island, and they check in. You check in your phone and you check in your electronics. We don't want them to be staring at a screen. We want them to interact with one another, and that's how real friendships are formed, really, is just through human face-to-face contact. And they have a big supper that night, big campfire that kind of sets the stage for the week. There's a lot of crazy skits, and just the guides are amazing. They're funny and imaginative and creative, and they really start out on a fun note. The second day is kind of a crash course in everything we want them to learn on their canoe trip. So we teach them everything from how to set up a tent to how to paddle to how to poop in the woods. That's some kids have to know. They spend the rest of that day just packing their gear, deciding what their menu is going to be for the week. And at some point during the day, the group will go paddling and really get that experience of being on the water and pushing the water around with your paddle. The real heart of the program starts on day 3. That's when I start to see kind of some nervousness sometimes, some excitement, a little apprehension once in a while, especially for kids that have never been here before. They're not necessarily sure what they've gotten themselves into, which I think is great. You know, a little uncertainty is good for a person sometimes. And again, I think this is a little unusual that Lake Trails allows campers to choose their own canoe trips. That was one of the things early on that Father Bill wanted to have happen. So we still today try to have the kids very involved with the planning of the canoe trip. I know a lot of camps, it goes by age or by your grade in school, and we don't really care about that. From the moment they leave the beach, we just call it trail magic or the Lake Trails magic, and it's just amazing what happens when they're out on trail. My very favorite part is watching them leave and then fast forward 5 days and watching them return, and the transformation is amazing.
Be good to each other, work as a team. Woohoo!
And the real magic is that whole time this lovely community is forming. You know, they learn about each other, and they make new friends. They learn about kids who come from different circumstances than their own. Every trip has at least 2 guides, and they're traveling from island to island. They learn how to start fires. They learn how to do a little cooking over the campfire. They learn how to set up tents. They learn that they're way more capable than they probably gave themselves credit for. Then they come back from trail, and oh my gosh, the celebration is just crazy. And the stories begin immediately when they get out of the canoes. There will be a lot of tears at the end of the summer when we all go our separate ways, because you just get so close. This is the best kept secret in Minnesota. People just don't know about us. And that has always been a challenge, is to let people know, because there's truly life-changing things that are happening here for the better, and people don't know that we even exist.
Fireball Fire Pits is a family-owned company in Audubon, Minnesota, specializing in custom-made fire pits. Eva Asplund and her daughter Melissa enjoy the challenge of creating these works of art for people all over the world.
People like the sound and the smell of a real fire, the light. I don't know, people are just sort of drawn to fire, I think, maybe biologically. It's the whole camaraderie, having family and friends, gathering around. This is a business that I started on accident. I wanted to make an earth-type fire pit for my sister for her birthday. She needed a new fire pit. So we decided to make 3 fire pits. And as we were doing that, people just started pulling up in the driveway saying they wanted the next one. After we made a few that way, we started kind of going to a few trade shows. And then people would say, yeah, that's cool, but could you make something with horses, or could you make something with, and it just grew.
I think that it's something really cool that there's not a lot of in this area, so having something around here that is unique, tells that story, is something that I think should be popular in this area. I help with the initial deciding what should go where, and then the fine-tuning of how big something should be.
She does have great ideas, and she'll help say, you know, no, do it this way or do it that way. We had a customer that wanted the most unusual things. She wanted unicorns in a night sky, skulls, butterflies, and mermaids. How do you combine those things, right? The concept was totally Melissa's. We made skull pillars with the butterflies feeding on them, and then a night sky on one side and day sky on the other, and it was amazing. Initially, we had a pretty limited supply of standard designs. Now we maybe have 20 different designs that we have on our Etsy site and on our website. Even still, like someone wanted our wild fire pit with deer and whatnot, but he said, you know, I fish a lot, so could you put a sailfish on it and a marlin on it? A lot of people want them more customized. They have their own ideas. So we'll do either. And I love customized work. I love doing brand new designs. Typically our fire pits are wood burning. We make them to burn wood. So you would put a bunch of wood in it and light it and burn it. And the thing about the ball shape is it burns really hot and really clean. So you would probably never have to clean it out. And the ball itself holds a lot of radiant heat, so it's just better for heat. We also do insert gas burners into them. We either have the design or we'll come up with the design. A lot of them I just completely draw by hand. People sort of want the same thing. They want to know what they're getting. So we have stencils for something like a deer or an eagle. And so then we'll just draw it out on the ball, cut it, plasma cut it. We'll weld the ball together, weld the base on. And then we clean it all up, grind it, clean it and get rid of all the slag. And then because a ball won't stay shiny looking, it will rust eventually when you have a fire in it. So we rust them ahead of time, ahead of shipping them. Then we just wrap them up and ship them out. We buy all American-made steel, and we buy the product new now. We used to do a lot more repurposing and recycling, but now it's almost all new, and we can buy balls in hemispheres, or we can buy them in segments, pieces as many as 14, and we have to weld them together and form a ball that way. Typically a 3-foot ball is about $2,000. I think Japan will be our farthest shipment. We've shipped a few to Canada, Alaska. We've had inquiries in Spain, Australia, London, France. I think fate brings you full circle back to who you are. I mean, creative people just have to do creative things. So a lot of days, I hate that we can't eat. But every day when I drive away from this place and I look at what I've done, I just say, man, I love this job. It's so much fun sort of making people's dreams become a reality for custom work like that.
I really love seeing all the designs come together and how they kind of tell a story once they're finished. If somebody comes with a specific design in mind, you can kind of tell that it's something that they brought to the table themselves, not just a standard waves design. It has a meaning to them in some way. It tells that story that they wanted, and they can share that story without even having to speak about it. When you're sitting around a fire, it's kind of the nice campfire story, except the ball is telling it for them.
Jeff James of Blaine, Minnesota appreciates every aspect of entertaining after spending time as a working musician in Nashville. His favorite styles of music include folk, blues, country, and gospel.
My name is Jeff James. I'm from a small town called New London in Minnesota, and we are now currently with my family in the Twin Cities area. Currently, I'm doing a live looping show that incorporates rock, blues, country, folk, and some Christian music as well. I've been a full-time musician since I was 19, got my start in St. Cloud, and was with a band at that point who started touring for about 3 years or so. And at the end of the night, most people would kind of just sit at the bar and party, and I would go home or go back to my hotel room, and I had brought my portable recording studio, so I'd sit there until the sun came up, just playing guitar, just because I was very passionate about it. At the end of about 3 years, I was kind of tired of being away. I was away from my wife, girlfriend back then, and then just was looking to further my career in music, so we decided to move to Nashville, and Nashville's kind of where everything kind of skyrocketed forward, where I was able to do 6 albums there, get connected, play downtown. I found a great club downtown, part of their house band there, and that was just an amazing experience, and I think that just pushed me to a new level. And after 7 years, we ended up moving back to Minneapolis, where I've been doing solo shows ever since.
Play something good, play something loud.
So Play Something Good is kind of autobiographical, based on events that may or may not have happened at some point. But as a cover artist, I do a lot of covers where I play. You try to please everybody, but you can't always please everybody. And I remember this one instance where this kind of big guy came up to me, and I was a little concerned about it. And then he said, "Play something good," but he said it a little bit more gruffly, like, "All right, play something good." And so the song kind of came out of that experience, and then maybe a couple of experiences along the way too, just trying to get everybody involved in the music that you play.
I stepped onto a stage in Minnesota, and every eye was turned to a man I didn't know. Well, he looked grumpy, he looked mad. It took everything I had not to pack right up and just to walk back out the door. At the moment he came up to criticize me, I had a feeling there was nothing I could do. For to soothe this savage beast took more than music, and in less than kind demeanor he said it too. Play something good, play something loud. Mister, you won't make us happy, oh man, you won't win this crowd if you don't play something we all can sing, dance to, cry to, anything. Mister, you won't make us happy unless you play something good. At the second table to the left I saw her, hiding out behind a glass of Chardonnay. The sadness in her eyes sent me a message, and the empty chair beside her gave it away. Play something good, play something loud. Mister, you won't make us happy, oh man, you won't win this crowd if you don't play something we all can sing, dance to, cry to, anything. Mister, you won't make us happy unless you play something good. Ow. Well, I played them every song you could imagine, from the king of rock and roll to a man named Hank, when even Jimmy Buffett wasn't working. Every last ambition in the same. When all at once the thought occurred, they say they'd had enough. I sang a song about a boy named Jackie and a dragon they called Puff. The twinkle came to those angry eyes, and her tears were kept at bay. But from the corner, a rowdy crowd something loud. Mister, you won't make us happy. Oh man, you won't win this crowd if you don't play something we all can sing. Dance to, cry to, anything. Mister, you won't make us happy unless you play something good. Mister, you won't make us happy unless you play something good.
If you know of an artist, topic, or organization in our region that you think might make for an interesting segment, please contact us at prairiemosaic@prairiepublic.org.
You can watch this and other episodes of Prairie Mosaic on Prairie Public's YouTube channel. And please follow Prairie Public on social media as well. I'm Barb Gravel.
And I'm Matt O'Lean. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Prairie Mosaic.
Prairie Mosaic is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008, the North Dakota Council on the Arts, and by the members of Prairie Public.